Hey, it's Chris with a K here. Welcome to the Thoughts and Theories podcast. Yes, you're hearing the noise of water running in the background. Why? Because I'm washing my clothes. Why? Because they need to be clean. Why? Because they're dirty, obviously. But yes, welcome to the podcast where anything can happen. I can be recording this from anywhere. I'm at home, not at the laundromat. But yeah, it's been a pretty good darn day. Yeah. But first, if it's your first time to my podcast, sorry, I was just like reflecting there. Sorry about that. If it's your first time to my podcast, literally what the Thoughts and Theories podcast is for is literally just a place to come just to hear about my thoughts and theories. Think of a diary, but a blog, audio form of one. That's what my thoughts are. That's what they basically are. And I like to share this with the world, just to share that, I'm a human just like y'all. I probably have similar thoughts or maybe the exact same thoughts as others, but ultimately the goal is to bring people together and live in unity instead of, what's the other word? Division. Yes. Unison instead of division. That's just my ultimate goal. That's why I do this podcast. I want to bring people together instead of splitting apart. But you only can do that if you share your story, share your life, be completely honest, transparent, stuff like that, non-judgmental and all this stuff. Really just be yourself. So that's why I do this podcast. But anyways, all you have to do if it's your first time, you can visit chrisative.com, spelled KRISATIVE.com. I will leave a link in the description below if you're looking at this through YouTube, which I have a YouTube channel. So in that description, that link below, it's going to give you links to all my websites and stuff, the platforms to follow me on social media wise. So please make sure you follow me, subscribe to me on all those platforms, as well as, like, comment, share my content, make sure other people like you hear it, because I think my main purpose of doing this is just for mental health. To be able to talk about just what you're going through in life and stuff like that is very important. It's actually like a therapeutic, I would say, right? But anyways, share that. It will mean so much to me. And if you want to go the extra mile and support me financially, because obviously I want to do this full time, eventually have a little studio set up, have people I can do this with, please make sure you just visit that website, chrisative.com, KRISATIVE.com, and just go to the very last button. You can purchase some merch from me. I have shirts I make. So anything that happens in my life that's impactful, that I can actually think of a quote or something to remember that moment by, I actually place it on a shirt, whether it's funny, inspirational, or whatever, and I put it on shirts and sell them, so you can actually take that same inspiration and share that with people, which is pretty cool. Or the other way to support me, you can click on the first link when you go to the website. It's going to be listen to the podcast, and on there you can actually donate to me, through the Anchor app, which is one of the listening platforms. The Anchor app is a podcast app. You can donate monthly 99 cents, as low as 99 cents to whatever, which is pretty cool. 99 cents is 3 cents a day, so that would mean a lot to me if you could donate that. But if you don't have the money, you want to support me, just support me the free way by, sharing it, commenting, subscribing, follow me on all those platforms, and that's it. Before I get started to talk about the subject I want to talk about today, I'm going to talk about what's trending today. If you're not into sports, you're probably not going to like this section, but I'm definitely a sports person, because obviously this is about my thoughts and theories, but this trending topic has to be down the line of stuff that I like, which is sports. And what's going on today is the playoffs, the conference finals, the AFC championship, as well as the NFC championship. Funny thing is, I didn't know the AFC championship was starting earlier. I thought it was going to start at 8 o'clock tonight. Right now the Packers are playing, so with the AFC game, it was against the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans. First of all, I did not expect the Tennessee Titans to make it this far. The fact that they took out basically the top two teams, two of the top three teams in the AFC. I'm talking about first the Patriots, but the Patriots, they were crippled and handicapped on offense. Brady had no one to throw it to. Edelman is not a true number one. He's a great slot receiver. And then you have they took out the Ravens, which they were fully loaded in stock. It's just, Lamar Jackson had over 500 yards combined, over 100 and something rushing and 300 and something passing. So it's just, I don't know, the game didn't go as well, it's playing and stuff like that. So I don't know, they lost, right? Tennessee Titans blew us out the water thanks to Henry, the running back. That guy ran for over 180 plus yards in both games, right? Each game, 3 straight games with 180 plus rushing yards. But when it comes against a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, you got to be able to put up points in the air, because running can only do you so far unless your defense is superior. They got a good defense, but it's not superior. I don't think no defense is good enough to contain Kansas City, and the reason why I say that, because of the past 2 games that Kansas City has just been past game Kansas City's just be coming back from behind. Last game they scored like 47 straight touchdowns, as they beat, I forgot who they played, but they beat the brakes off those boys, right? They beat the brakes off those boys. Patrick Mahomes is the real deal. He's nothing to be played with. He's right now, to me, the best quarterback in the league. Because Lamar Jackson is a rushing quarterback that can pass, but Patrick Mahomes, boy, he's a passing quarterback that can run, which is rare. He can do all of it. And then the fact he has the help from Tyreek Hill, you got the help from Kelsey, you got the help from Sammy Watkins, you got the help from Hartman, who I found out was a rookie. So you got like 4 people. And then Robinson, but like 4 definitely threats that he can go to at any time, which definitely helps. And Andy Reid behind him, but this guy is a stud himself, spectacular superstar, best quarterback in the league. So they were playing the Tennessee Titans. I'm like taking long on this, but they were playing the Tennessee Titans. Let's speed up. They were playing the Tennessee Titans. The Titans were up on them like 10-0. And this was at they're playing at Arrowhead. I think that's the Kansas City Chiefs stadium. And they were up on these cats, 10-0. And then the score, as I look back, it was 17-7. But I turned the game on when I found out like it was like 10-0. And this is what I found the game was on. I was like, what the heck? I was mad at my eyes because for some reason my eyes told me that the game was happening later on the night, because I guess I glanced and wasn't really looking at the time. So right now I'm mad at my eyes for not telling me the truth, for lying to me, right? But turned on the game, I was like, they getting beat? And then I started turning back on the game because I was at the Yellow Green Farmers Market, my favorite place, my haven, my happy place on the weekend, right? And then turn back on the game on my phone. I get to watch it on my phone, right? Cool little app I get access to, like all the games, right? So basically, watching on my phone. And as I'm watching on my phone, I see they're up. The Titans are up 17-7. It's like, okay, Kansas City scored, and then I look back. Kansas City scores again. I think they scored again. Yeah, they score another touchdown as I start watching the game. So it's 14-17, and then Kansas City score again in the second quarter. They scored 2 touchdowns, so now they're up 2 or 3 touchdowns. So now they're up 21-17 going into halftime. I think Kansas City got the ball back because I was driving home and doing some Postmates runs, because I'm always in my car. Why? Because I'm going places. It's one of the shirts I have. It's just a true story in my life. Try to talk about the stuff I actually do in life, be real, be authentic, so it makes sense, right? Anyways, halftime was over. Kansas City, from then on, they're basically scoring every possession out, to the point that Kansas City are down 17 first. They're down 7 points to Titans 17. Then they score 4 straight touchdowns, so 28 straight points to make the score 17-35. Kansas City was up 35-17. The Titans scored touchdowns. Like, oh wow, they're still in the game. All I have to do is score a field goal to bring it down to 8, and then score a touchdown and get 2-point conversion. But the problem with Tennessee's game is, guess what? They're a rushing team. You can't put up points fast if you're known for just rushing the ball, because they know you have to throw the ball. So now the rushing is at a disadvantage for them, because Tannehill, he's a decent quarterback, but he ain't. He's not going to bring you back. He's not going to Patrick Mahomes here, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, or Aaron Rodgers. So there was no threat. The final score ended up being 35-23. Kansas City going to Super Bowl is something I predicted from the beginning of the year, and I think they're going to beat whoever wins between the 49ers and the Packers. Right now, the game is on. Last time I checked, the Packers are losing 0-10. I think the 49ers are going to win because the Packers only beat the 49ers only at the quarterback position. Everything else, 49ers are beating the Packers at. And they have a better coach. You know, so the Packers are going to lose, unfortunately. I think, hopefully they prove me wrong and win because I'm a Pack fan. Aaron Rodgers is my favorite quarterback in the league. Then Patrick Mahomes is behind him. I want to see them two go at it. Two State Farm endorsees play head to head. Even though I think Kansas City is just going to overpower anybody to play because Aaron Rodgers only got Adams. And like I just said, Patrick Mahomes has 4 weapons compared to Rodgers 1. Jimmy Graham, I don't know what happened to him. He just looks like a threat, but he's not a threat. He's a threat to himself. That's the kind of threat he is, right? So the game is playing right now. But I think Chiefs will beat San Fran because San Fran, they have to be able to cover all the weapons. And if San Fran is able to keep scoring consistently, they can beat them. But if they're not, you don't give Patrick Mahomes the ball. He'll come back. He gets fired up. He's fired up and he's leading his team. It's great. But anyways, that's the topic right now. The Kansas City Chiefs beating down the Tennessee Titans. Congrats to the Tennessee Titans. A great team. They just need to hopefully get a better quarterback next year. If I was them next year, I love you, Tannehill. But if Brady becomes a free agent, if I was Mike Vrabel, I would do everything in my power to pick up Tom Brady. Everything in my power. Because you ain't stopping Patrick Mahomes. That team that's there in Kansas City is looking to stay for a while. I think they're going to be the next dominant AFC threat. But if I was Tom Brady, if I'm not on the Patriots anymore, I better get picked up by the Tennessee Titans. If I was Mike Vrabel, I would go after him because Tom Brady, give him some weapons and it's good night. But yeah, that's what's trending today. Sorry that took so long. I just love sports and excited about this, and it's my thoughts and theories. So something trending that I'm actually interested in. But yes, anyways, so let's talk about the topic I want to talk about today. I want to talk about laughter and how important that is. I think laughter is super duper trooper important just because of the fact that smiling and laughing, I've heard before that it helps. It's good for your health. So it's kind of like a intangible vitamin or something like that the human needs to live. Because thinking about it, the opposite of laughter and happiness and smiling is stress. We know for a fact that stress can kill you. Literally, stressing about something can create diseases. We know this. So it's funny how we pick out the opposite. That if this is true, the opposite must be true as well. If stress could lead to disease, cancer, dying, and stuff like that, then laughing, smiling, and happiness can lead to a longer life, less stress, feeling more blessed, more productivity, calmer, ease, more rest, being refreshed more and stuff like that. So I think that. I'm also doing this because I was listening to the Donnell Rawlings. He's a funny comedian that was on the Dave Chappelle show, and he actually has a podcast now. Shout out to Donnell Rawlings. I haven't seen too much of his stand-ups. His stand-ups I've probably seen one. He has one on Netflix. It's called the I don't even know. It starts the letter D. I don't know what it's called. I don't want to butcher it, but it's on Netflix. And I was looking at his stand-up segment. It's not his special, but he's sharing it with like other comedians. And he has like a 20-minute talk. I listened to it. He was all right. Donnell Rawlings to me is more funny to me in just conversational, everyday talk opposed to stand-up. But in interviews and stuff, this man kills. I love him, but I love him though still. He's a great guy. One of the funniest guys, I think out. His Instagram is lit. It's popping. He has this hashtag called Too Soon when like stuff happens, and he'll make fun of the situation and hashtag it Too Soon. Like, oh, was it too soon to make fun of the joke? And stuff like that. He's so funny. He's hilarious. But he was talking about one of his friends that he makes, the guy who actually makes the memes for him on his Instagram. He actually telling a story about like one of his children had an illness or sick and stuff like that, so we're in the hospital, and during the time in the hospital, like this was back when a Chappelle show was popping, right? When people received stuff in mail, when obviously Netflix and internet was popping, but it wasn't on Netflix and stuff like that. Everybody was still watching cable and DVDs. And him and his wife got the Chappelle show on DVD, right? And it got sent to the hospital. and they were watching it, and then it would actually draw in other family and allow them to laugh and just, have a moment of joy in the time of distress. I mean, one of the worst feelings in the world is to know that your kid is suffering and dying, and there's nothing you can do about it. But the fact that you're able to smile and laugh, I'm not saying forget that something wrong with your kid, but like create some type of relief. I mean, you talked about how the fact that some families came in like, how dare you, how could you? But then after a while, they kind of got it. Because the thing is, when things are sucky situation, you can't always be down about it. I think that in order to win at anything in life, you have to have, or just to be successful in period in life, you have to have a sense of humor. If you don't have a sense of humor, oh my gosh, you will not go far in this world. Just because we were all made to be happy, we were all made to smile. It takes less muscles to smile than frown. And smiling and laughing is a direct outward expression of something that's happening inward, meaning everything that turns into actions comes from your feelings, which comes from your thoughts. So everything is basically controlled by your thoughts. So if we have to change the way we think, which will affect the way we feel and then affect the potential action outcome. But if we're always frowning and stressing out and pouting, guess what? We're having some negative thoughts. So I really strongly believe in a theory of believing positive thoughts. Believing positive thoughts. They did a study on plants. Like basically, they were telling it's the same exact plant, but multiple different types of the same plant, like two of the same plant. They were speaking negative words to one. That plant ended up dying after. I don't know how much time passed, but the other plant was spoken positive, stayed alive and grew. So it's just showing you that words have power, because words is just a type of vibration that flows throughout the air and stuff. So everything is connected. It's like energy. It's like you got bad juju, bad energy. Energy is literally vibrations. Vibrations can create sound, which words make a sound. So everything is connected. That's what I believe. I really think that laughter is something that's needed in this world. I think that's the reason why we have to have comedians to go into that. Laughter, comedians go hand in hand, they're synonymous, right? Comedians are there, literally, their description is to talk about either the stupid things, the neutral things, or the serious thing, but from a comedical perspective, and they have no and it's not coming from a place of darkness, but it's not coming with a ill intention. It's coming with an intention of love. So comedy is really supposed to come from a place of love that's supposed to address the difficult things to talk about, or non-difficult things to talk about, but in a comedic twist to make you laugh about, like having a funny truth, meaning to create a revelation in us that creates laughter. The thing I love about comedy so much is that there's comedies that can help you relate to your situation. Like I'm doing this podcast for. The reason why I said I was doing it because I want to help people relate. Make people realize they're not the only one in the world. So with a lot of comedy, for instance, I'm black, as you see, or if you listen to audio, I'm a black guy. Sorry, I'm not. If you thought I was something else, I'm sorry, but I'm a black guy, right? So growing up in the black community, obviously black communities, they talk about what went on in their household. For instance, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something, but let's come into mind. Oh, for instance, one comedian I like is Carlos Miller, and he was like, "Why is it that when black women they get mad at their children, they always say this phrase? No matter what's going on, they say this. You better act like you got some goddamn sense. You replace darn with what the thing that beavers build. I don't curse." So it's like you can do anything. He's like, I can be going to school, or I can be filling my report card. I was like, my child, he out there failing because he's acting like he got no goddamn sense. Or, we're about to go into the store. When we go in the store, you better act like you got some goddamn sense. It doesn't matter what happens. It's just the same. Black moms say a lie. It's funny. It's true, right? It's so true, right? But when you're saying things that are so relatable, but say it in a way that's comedical, it creates laughter because it's relating. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so true. It's so funny. You relate to me. Like, so the laughter comes from a place like, oh my gosh, I agree with that. And oh my gosh, you dealt with that too. So it's like, to me, laughter comes when there's a crossroad. In certain, not all scenarios, but a scenario where, you know, truth comes into play and relatability. Or sometimes it could be when something is so far-fetched that we know it's not true, but oh my gosh, I wouldn't even have thought to go there, you know, but it makes sense even though it's not true, you know. So it can be different things that can create laughter, but I love it because it brings people together. Think about it. Laughter is one of the only tools here in existence that can bring people together from different backgrounds that probably necessarily don't like each other. So the thing about laughter is that it can unite people. It can unite people. It can bring people together. It can bring people to a point to be like, you know what, I ain't like you, but you all right. After, you know, you okay. You're some cool people. You know, that's the thing I like about laughter. It unites and it combines. It brings people together. It doesn't leave anybody in the darkness. But also laughter, it could be used negatively because anything that we can use positively, we can turn into negative. So sometimes it could be used to someone can use it to create their own narrative or agenda. Like, say if a person's racist or, you know, they're obviously being rude, they can take that laughter and turn it into a form of comedy called sarcasm and stuff like that, which should come off negative, you know, and say something racist, you know. But the thing about comedy a lot of times is like it kind of reveals who a person is, you know. Sometimes it can reveal a person is, because I found a lot of times in my life is that the moment that I'm being myself the most is when I'm being comedical. For some reason, if I'm not in my, it's like, you guys ever have like, I'm pretty sure you have a smartphone, everybody does. Not that many people have flip phones. If they do, where have you been? Where have you been? But anyways, so for instance, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, for instance, on a phone, if you go to the top, you like flip your screen down, and it's where you turn off your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, your power saving mode, your ringer on and off, all that stuff. That menu that you just literally have to take the phone like this and then flip down, right, the screen, right. With me, one of those buttons up there is obviously not Wi-Fi because I'm not a machine, but one of the buttons are comedic sense, as if that's a function of me. Whenever I have that on, I myself, I feel like peace at home and I'm not scared. But whenever I turn it off, oh my gosh, I feel like uncomfortable, unease, and like, oh my gosh, what's going on, you know? So I notice a lot of times that, you know, I can use my comedy to sometimes usually talk about tough situations. You know, like recently when I became plant-based, you know, I came plant-based, it was the best thing since sliced bread and stuff like that. So I'm telling everybody like, oh my gosh, go plant-based or die sooner. Basically, that's the point of it. You know, the more healthier you eat, the longer you live. I literally saw this video on Facebook today. This guy, I think he's a Hispanic guy, he stays in New York. I think he's considered the oldest person in America. He's turned 111 years old, and I swear this guy looks about 60 or 70 years old. 111 years old, and you know what the secret is? He went vegan from a very young age and stayed on that strict diet. That's all he did. That's all he did, strict diet. He's living. He's not suffering anything. He said he hasn't been sick in his life because he just stayed on a strict diet. He stayed disciplined. You know, he was just giving a list of all the stuff he has every day. But when I went plant-based, because I want the best for everybody, I'm like, yo, man, you know the food you eat is killing you, but the reason why you're doing it because everybody else is doing it. And at the same time, you say don't compare me to nobody else, but you're doing what everybody else is doing, which makes no sense, right? So that's my mindset. I'm like, what the heck's going on here, right? So a lot of times when I'll probably get in like little fake arguments with people, I was like, oh my gosh, Chris. They be like, Chris, I'm gonna die. We're gonna all die one day too. I'm like, okay. You gonna wish you didn't say that when you walking on the walker in like next 10 years, because we know the food's progressively getting worse for us. You know, so I make little jokes like that, you know, to kind of be funny, to bring out a point. But sometimes my comedic sense could be used to a negative, right? You know, but at the end of the day, I like to laugh. At my job, literally, I work in a warehouse with 100+ people I see on a day basis. I'll have my headphone in, listen to my podcast, my music, and literally, I'm the type of person, you know, in the black culture, what we do a lot. I'm pretty sure that other cultures, they do this too. You know, we do this thing called cracking, roasting. That means making fun of somebody, but in a lighthearted way, coming from love. Like usually we do that to show that we love people. You know, that's what we do to create friendships and bonds at times like that. Or sometimes we do that just because we're hating for no reason. I don't know. We're hating. You know, we're hating. I don't know. But a lot of times at work, oh my gosh, I'll find myself roasting the mess out of people. I don't say it out loud because obviously I don't know where that person's at in their life. I don't know if they're having a bad day. I don't know if they're super self-conscious and what I'm about to say is going to make them like do something very bad. You know, like, you know, they might be on their last line, want to like end their life, and I don't want to be the person to help to assist in that. I don't want to do that. You know, I wish no one killed themselves, right? You know, but the thing is, like, I want to roast people so bad, but I just don't because I'm like on the other side. I know I can control what I say, but I can't control how people gonna react. You know, what if I say something, a word that triggers a traumatization they had in the past? I don't know. So I really do want to be roasting some people. You know, since like if you guys didn't listen to my last podcast, I was talking about people being fake. People being fake. You know, we're becoming more and more robotic, more fake. You know, especially women. You know, women are adding all these fake stuff on them, the eyelashes, the nails, the hair and stuff, the makeup and stuff. You know, this is just my opinion. So this is not a mandate, this is not an order I'm setting on everybody, but it's just, I think the world's becoming more fake. It's just girls get to the point that they catfishing themselves. Because catfish is a term when you're pretending to be somebody you're not. You're lying to somebody else saying, hey, let's say for instance, my name's Chris with a K, I meet this fine girl on the line, but I created a fake profile of some guy named John. I found this guy and then took his pictures and like, hey, I'm John, you know. And then she thinks I'm John and look like the guy whose identity is still right. And then she comes to later find out I'm someone completely different. That's catfish. But it's getting to the point where people aren't catfishing, like pretending to be somebody else. Well, in a sense they are. But they're being them, but a version of them that they're not. Meaning putting on all these accessories, so they're still them, but outwardly they look completely different. So they're a different person they build on top of themselves. So people are literally catfishing themselves. So when you see them without makeup and stuff, you be like, wait, hold up, that's you? Like, the funniest thing in the hood, if you want to see how a real girl look, you know, just ask her, yo, what area do you stay in and stuff like that. You know, do you usually go to a hair store, beauty supply store? Find out what beauty supply store is and find out at the rate at which they get their hair done. Hang outside the hair store and see the girls walk in. They be looking completely different. They'll be having their stocking, their caps, their hats and stuff. They be looking like they're in the witness protection program. And the funniest thing is to catch them off guard when you're used to seeing them one way. Some might not care, but it's just the funniest thing. So you're like, dang, this is how you really look. You've been catfishing yourself, you know. But black women, y'all beautiful. I love y'all. I just wish y'all wouldn't wear so much fake stuff. You're beautiful the way you are. I'm telling you. Ever since the Black Panther reminded me that, oh my gosh, yo, black is beautiful. Oh my gosh. I got a thing for girls with brush cuts. I'm sorry. Just throwing that out there. I'm throwing that out there. Throwing that out there like a billboard. Just for you black girls out there. I am in the dollar bill club. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. You know, so basically, if you do want to find what a black woman really looks like, and if she wears weave and stuff, just run into her when she's going to the beauty supply store. And you'll see what she really looks like. Because in the back of every guy's mind, we want to know what you look like if I was to wake up to you every day for the rest of my life. That's how I think. Maybe not all guys, but it's just how I think. How does she really, really, really look? You know? But anyways, the world's just become more fake. People are catfishing themselves and stuff like that. So at work, a lot of that happened. You know, like, some girls will come in like, oh, we got a new coworker. Like, and they turn around, it's the person I know, they just got a new hairdo. You'll be so surprised how much a hairdo can change the way a girl look. Man, if the army, whatever, CIA want to infiltrate any country, just hire a sister, have her get her hair did. You would not know who she is. I'm telling you, they're great at You know, they perfect identity undercover people. And black women, they're good. I love my black women. They're so good at finding out the truth. You know, being investigators. Smartest. I would say they're the smartest in the whole world. You know. But yeah, I wish we would just start catfishing ourselves and stuff like that. You know, so I'll be roasting a lot of women in my head at work and stuff like, oh my gosh, why she wearing that? She knows she shouldn't be wearing that. Oh, she know them pants don't fit her. You know, I know they skinny jeans, but she ain't skinny. You know, I'll be saying like the most ratchet things, like, oh my gosh, like, yo, wait, why she coming here with green hair like that? Like, would she get slimed? Like, I'll be saying some crazy stuff, right? But that's just the comedic side of me the type of side of me that I would like to be more often, to just joke and clown with people, because it builds up toughness. And also, while you're getting a laugh out of the person, it actually reveals like, okay, oh, he talks about this a lot. Oh, maybe he has a problem with that, but he addressed it from a comedic standpoint. But I just think laughter makes the world a lot better. It actually what it really should be used for, it should build bridges and not walls. You know, and I think a lot of people take things out of context. So with comedy, so, you know, we live in an age where everybody's offended because we're all becoming robots. Robots are trained to be uniform, and uniformity means everybody adhere to this way, and there should be no variation outside of that. So when you have that type of mindset where, okay, everybody should think and be like this, what ends up happening when someone else comes in that's not like this and it's completely different, you're going to get offended because it's not in line with what you think supposed to be the line is. And honestly, you know, we shouldn't think like that. Everybody is their own individual. People have different viewpoints. So instead of like canceling people, we should be like, yo, what you said, it didn't sit with me well, but what did you mean about that? I'm pretty sure it's not coming from that place, but you could explain and elaborate what you meant by that. So if we just took the time out, instead of just canceling people and talking negative about them, and actually like, you know, talking to them, like, yo, I didn't like what you said, could you explain that? Like, oh, okay, I get it now, you don't hate me, it's just how you saw it. But I never saw it like that, because I never saw it from that viewpoint, because I'm not you and you're not me. So I think laughter is a tool not only to increase our health, but to build bridges and to break down stereotypes, allow people to meet each other and come together. You know, because think about it, when you're together with your friends and family, you're hanging out and stuff like that, laughter definitely goes down if you had a good time. If you guys had a good time and nobody laughed or smiled or anything like that, then it wasn't a good time. It really wasn't. Sorry. Has to be some type of laughter. So, you know, outside of food, you know, laughter and food is what makes my life complete, to be honest. Those are two things I must have: laughter, good conversation with food. Oh my gosh, that is heaven to me, my happy place. But yes, I thank you guys for hanging out with me today. So that was a pretty long episode. I didn't even think it was going to be this long today. But yes, thank you. Let me know what laughter has done for you guys. There are no questions today because no one's asked questions yet. I guess no one knows I exist or thinks I'm important. But I'll just keep on chugging along until you guys send questions. So yeah, at the end of every episode, people, I want to send questions in. I want to answer questions, not send questions, but I want you guys to send me questions so I can answer them. Why? So I can answer them. So they can be about anything. Nothing's off limits. You know, I'll try to answer them the best way I can. You can send them to me by, you know, visiting chrisative.com and actually leave me a voice message on the Anchor app. If you download the Anchor app, you can leave me a voice message, or you can actually send me a DM on my IG, which is actually on that page as well, or leave a comment. Leave a comment on my YouTube channel. I prefer that. Leave a comment on any of my recent videos on my YouTube channel. And then I'll make sure next episode I'll bring your question up, and if I didn't get your question next episode, it'll definitely come up on the following. But I just want to get you guys involved and hear your guys' thoughts, theories, and opinions too, because this podcast is not all about me. It's just started by me, right? And that's really it. And make sure you support me by, you know, liking this, commenting on it, sharing it, subscribing me, following me on all my digital platforms by visiting chrisative.com. And check out my merch store. You know, buy some shirts from me. And if you want to become a subscriber, a monthly subscriber, like donate money monthly, as low as 99 cents a month. That's like 3 cents a day. That would mean so much for me, because my goal is to be able to do this full time. Eventually probably get a place, get 2 other co-hosts to do this alongside, take this podcast thing to the next level, but always thinking of ways to include you guys and build this community. All right. So other than that, I thank y'all so much. Thank you for tuning into the Thoughts and Theories podcast. You're awesome. Chris with a K, coming your way. Yeah, that's it. I need a good outro, but that's what I got for now. Peace.